This is in PC Gamer. Obviously, BlizzCon just happened. I didn't actually watch any of it, but, obviously no exciting announcements for StarCraft. So we don't really know what Microsoft's going to do with if they're going to do anything with esports, if there's going to be a StarCraft 3. But this article was sent to me by a friend, so I thought we would go over this. It says, StarCraft could return, according to Blizzard president, but not necessarily as an RTS. It's been 13 years since StarCraft 2 was launched. During BlizzCon's opening ceremony, Blizzard celebrated its games with a cinematic that focused on the here and now, with nods of World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and the developer's latest game, Warcraft Rumble, which I have not had time to play that. I don't know if it's good or not. I mean, I'm not crazy for cell phone games, but I'm also not shocked that they would be trying to move into the cell phone game market. With this focus on the present, one of the most important series went ignored, much as it has been for years. StarCraft didn't get a look in. While this paints a picture of a developer that has perhaps forgotten about its legacy, StarCraft was not kept entirely out of the event. With Blizzard now being a part of Microsoft, Phil Spencer was in attendance and celebrated Blizzard's history. StarCraft spawned the foundation of what esports would eventually become, he said. And with StarCraft 2, it was a major catalyst for the evolution of games as live entertainment. By the way, StarCraft 2 actually also helped build Twitch. If you talk to the founders of Twitch, they will tell you that it was StarCraft that was the big game that proved to be palatable to a streamed audience. So, I mean, a lot of history there. These are undeniably important games, not just for diehard RTS players, but Blizzard has moved away from the series. After a decade of StarCraft 2 support, Blizzard decided that it was time to stop developing its flagship RTS. And since then, has had little to say about the series. But Blizzard President Mike Ybarra, in an interview with Bloomberg, threw those of us who still hold a torch for StarCraft a bone. Just a wee one. While Blizzard is very much focused on its big money makers, like its various Warcraft games, from WoW to Hearthstone to Warcraft Rumble, as well as Diablo and the much maligned Overwatch 2, he's still open to StarCraft making a comeback. That said, RTS fans shouldn't get their hopes up. While the series might return, that doesn't necessarily mean it will be an RTS, and whatever shape it takes will depend on the person or team who goes to bat for it. So, it sounds like, as they're having the restructuring of the company, they're open to the idea, but not necessarily in the form that I think we all think of StarCraft as. I got more to say about this. Let me just finish reading the article. It's not me saying, go make a StarCraft game, Ybarra told Bloomberg. I need to have someone who has the vision and passion that comes with the idea, and I'll bet on that team. This has been Blizzard's strategy for a long time. Warcraft, one of the most beloved RTS series of all time, has just become a setting that spawns Hearthstone, World of Warcraft expansions, and the closest we've come to a new RTS that from that series is mobile Clash-like Warcraft Rumble. Blizzard hasn't shown us much faith in RTS these days, so it would make sense for StarCraft's return to be a different genre, as tragic as that would be. I'm in total agreement with the author here. If the next StarCraft does end up leaving its RTS roots, it would be even more of a shame, given that the genre is actually the most exciting it's been in years. Agree again. Once dormant series like Homeworld and Sins of a Solar Empire, I don't know what that is, Sins of a Solar Empire, have woken up, and Blizzard vets are even making their own StarCraft successor in Stormgate. If there was ever a time for Blizzard to reinvest in the genre, it would be now. Yeah, so when Blizzard collapsed and they fired all the esports people, they got rid of their community departments. I don't think they even have that anymore, which is crazy to me. A lot of those people are heavily invested in RTS. I know that the higher-ups at Blizzard before felt like their hands were tied by Activision. Yeah, they don't have any of the people there who could make an RTS. Now, that being said, I feel like there's a lot of people who could make RTS who just now need to get in the space. I mean, it's kind of this weird paradox where Blizzard dominated RTS so much, they killed the competition, and then Blizzard themselves moved on to other stuff. It's a little bit perplexing. Here's my thought, too, because, people are always saying they're not, nobody makes RTS anymore. All these games go through phases. Like, when I was growing up, the only games that you could play were point-and-click adventure games and RTS. When Nintendo 64 came out, it's like everybody stopped doing platformers for years. Every game on console had to be 3D. 2D was no longer acceptable. When Hearthstone came out, suddenly every fucking game was a card game. It was like that for years. When League and Dota picked up, then you saw Blizzard react to that and make Heroes of the Storm and all these other companies. Everything had to be a MOBA. If you look at when H1Z1 and then PUBG got big, suddenly every game was a battle royale with a shrinking kill zone that you had to go to. So I think some of this comes down to trends and the lack of, I guess, creativity or will from game publishers to go in their own direction. Even, like, as an example now, Elden Ring is gotten so big. Yeah, you nailed it, chat. Dragonator. Now everything is a Souls-like game. Now we got Lies of P, a couple other titles like that. So things seem to go in these, like, very specific trends. But, it's a bummer to me. I don't know why Blizzard wouldn't want to go back to RTS. StarCraft 2 did not make probably the money that Blizzard needed it to make, but it also was in the wrong business model. They were using a business model where they would release expansion packs every few years. If you're not going to fill the game up with microtransactions and you're a business, well, then the games that do have microtransactions, like World of Warcraft and Hearthstone and stuff like that, more attention's going to go to those games. So, it's weird. StarCraft 2 did so many things that progressed the industry while still having a business model that was frankly just old and archaic. Like my voice pack that I got to do with Artosis, that was like 8 years into the game being out. I mean, that's insane. So I'm only bringing that up because I think if Blizzard did make an RTS and just put proper microtransactions for people that want to play, not microtransactions like you can't, play this race unless you give us $9.99 or something like that. Just curious, that voice patch pay some bills? Yeah, for the first maybe 2 years, it was pretty good. I would have liked a bigger percent. It was a very small percent, but it was also cool to just be, inside the game. That was kind of an amazing experience. With whatever RTS is going to come next, I do hope that beyond it being like a fun, competitive game, I hope that they put proper microtransactions, because if the thing's not making money, you can't fund the servers, you can't fund esports events, you can't, prize pools, stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, guys, if they bring back StarCraft and it's like a first-person shooter, I think it's going to be really depressing. I'm not saying I wouldn't try it, but it's like there's no game that is more defining an RTS than StarCraft. And I don't know what this weird relationship with this genre is. I don't know where the lack of creativity comes from. They're ignoring StarCraft now. I mean, we've got ASL and GSL still going on. We've got all these great events put on by ESL and DreamHack. But yeah, it's going to be a real bummer. Look, if they want to make a shooting game, a phone game, any of that, go ahead. But also make an RTS. Please pay homage to the RTS you have. You can always come back to this scene, Blizzard, if you want. But, I mean, I would personally would be very bummed out. You know what would be a good way to come back? Get an RTS and then release one of your cell phone games or whatever else you want to do. Go for both. It's my hope that Microsoft will use the IP more and maybe force Blizzard to release more games and more quickly. But, yeah, I mean, it's that's where we're at. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day. You can always join me on my Twitch stream where I record these reactions live. And go to tastelessthreads.com. You can get my merch there. This is a good scrub shirt. And have a good day. Stay safe out there.